I wish I'd never... When Y'shtola first arrived in the First, she made swift work of the Cabinet of Curiosity. Her thirst yet unsated, she then journeyed hither, seeking the wisdom of Ronka. She found little in the way of welcome from the Blessed, however. 'Twas not until the Great Fire, where she denied the Sin-Eaters a feast of ether, that she gained their trust. Since then, I have served as liaison twixt Slitherbow and the Crystarium, that she might be kept abreast of others' efforts. Yeah, that was something I was going to say earlier was, I think we heard about Ronka, in a general sense, at like one of the fan fests or something before Shadowbringers came out, and I think something gave us, or some of us, the impression that it was kind of like the Allegan Empire of the Source. But then when you come here, like nothing really back that up. Which is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, because of the, I don't know what you call it, ubiquitousness of Allegan tech and everything like that on the Source, it's kind of nice to not have that here. A day in the neighborhood. Y'shtola is staring off into the distance, lost in thought. I am not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. I can but imagine how Alize and Alphino have changed since arriving here in the First. What will you say? Change is part of life. We can but hope it's change for the better. Perhaps you should be concerned with how you have changed. I don't know that she's really changed all that much. She's always been kind of, I don't know, at arm's length with everybody, and that just almost seems accusatory. And after that exchange between her and Thancred, I'm not wanting to get on her bad side. So I'm going to go with the first one. You're right. And after my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I changed for the worst. I will have to speak with him later. That's probably the same line. Either one you pick, you probably get that line. It feels that way. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look about Slitherbow. If there's anything you need, pray speak with Runar at the plaza. Yeah, same. I've instructed Runar to help you with anything you should require. All right. See, I'd almost expect their entire little enclave or whatever, to be something indoors like this, if they dislike the light so much. Welcome, friend, welcome. My apologies for our less than hospitable greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? From the Crystarium, I see. And this tablet you've brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Raktika? Well, you are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, of course. Anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. It's weird, too, that, like, I can only assume she made, like, Master a part of her name as well. I mean, unless they just revered her so much, they just started calling her that, too, but I think it's kind of funnier if it's just, no, my name is Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Flame. With our priests slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance, we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow many have come to find solace. That is not to say there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. Wait, okay, perhaps it is the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again. Now that she is with us, I have no doubt the others feel the same. It's so funny, just... I mean, obviously, people speak positively of her, even, you know, outside the game or whatever, but the smile in her eyes doesn't, you know, again, she always kind of has everybody at an arm's length, so that just seems overly warm to describe her. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the dark. But you did not hear this from me, yes? Now, you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to so long as they reside within Slitherbow. To show reverence to the dark? In a word, yes, but fear not. It is not too involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. I thought Master Matoya kept her room dark because she didn't need the light, but they're all like hers, aren't they? Well, yeah, they revere the dark. Should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Raktika. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple and perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment that I might rid you of the light's impurity? We mustn't be rude to our hosts. Okay. Before Runar. I don't know if I need to have him targeted, but... God, that's got to be cold. As Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests. They are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation. No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. It's all that light in us. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect. Unless... I mean, we're both, blessed by the light, so... By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are sin eaters. I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Slitherbow. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alintuta. In the language of Ronka, it is one of several ways one might say good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or gesture we should know too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speaking the words, Alintuta, and they will know you as friends of the Blessed. I will await your return here. Now go. They are like to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. Chat and say, okay, enter Alintuta to greet the villagers of Slitherbow. Course. All right. Yeah, you really have to, like, I try to be, like, grammatically correct and everything, but it's like, no, you just have to type it as it is. You know, all lowercase. The elderly woman smiles warmly. All right. Ah, a newly come traveler. Alin Chisi, and welcome to Slitherbow. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are a quiet and taciturn people. Silent and serene as the sunless sky, or sunless sea. The quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the woods. I don't know, to me, on it, like, you know, outside of obviously reading the mountains of dialogue while going through the MSQ, I certainly enjoy a good conversation, but I think especially in an area with a bunch of people I don't know, like the fact that everybody's just reserved and quiet. Sounds nice to me. Alinchisi, welcome, friend. I take it you will remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You will find poison in near everything you see. But fear not. Our medicinal tea will keep you healthy. Ask, and it is yours. I hope your stroll about Slitherbow proved enlightening. I don't know so much enlightening, but it was something. Just not that much information was really given about anything. It was just kind of like, yeah, hello. Everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but already I'm starting to feel at home. There is still much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see now how they've built such a thriving community. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, it was one person that just kind of, you know, either was quiet or made kind of like a quiet grunt at us or whatever. Another person that was just like, hey, so we're pretty quiet around here. And then another person that's like, hey, you're going to stick around? Well, watch out for poison. Like, okay. I can see now how they've come to thrive in these woods, even with all the Sin Eaters. A helping hand. Judging by the glint in Runar's eye, there is more for you to learn about Slitherbow. Ah, you are returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we have had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions or there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodgings for your stay. As friends of Master Matoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be willing to lend a hand... What would you say? I'd rather not. It's so hard for me to go for kind of dickish responses. Playing like old school Knights of the Old Republic and stuff and going for dark side responses was like I had to play another light side playthrough after that because I felt so ugh. It would be my pleasure. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. All I ask is that you take a jug and water the crops in the square. One of these big-ass jugs? May I help too? Of course. One of you can do the filling and the other the watering. Speak with Ursable when you have finished. She will be relieved to hear the crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Right then, I'll fill you water. It's a weird... Like, it doesn't take anything to... I assume we just get, like, a smaller bucket or jug and just dip it in there and then go out and water. I don't know. It's not really a two-person job. This was the only jug I could find which was small enough to lift, but I'm afraid there's a crack in the bottom. You'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. Take the jug of water to the square before the contents leak out. You will have 45 seconds to complete the task. Should you fail, return to Minfilia and try again. Should you fail, it's game over and we delete your character. That's Final Fantasy XIV hard mode. Hardcore. Hardcore character. You have watered half of the plot. Fetch another jug of water to take care of the rest. It's kind of a weird... Like, 45 seconds is more than enough time. So, why even put that stipulation on to begin with? I mean, unless I just haven't gotten to whatever makes it all make sense. Was there enough water for the plot? Nope. Only half, I see. Well, let me refill the jug for you. Take another jug of water to the square before the contents leak out. You will have 30 seconds to complete the task. Should you fail, return to Minfilia and try again. Okay, so they lowered the amount of total time, but it still doesn't take 30 seconds to make it out to that. Am I going to have to do it again, but like in 15 seconds, which doesn't seem possible. The whole plot has now been thoroughly watered. All right, then. Well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you need of something? And is that... I think I said Ursable, but it's probably Ursabel. Could go either way. You watered the crops. Ah, my apologies for not noticing sooner. I have been rather distracted of late. Watering the crops was always Tadia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Is there anything else we can do to help? We could plant something if you like. There is no need. The plot is small, it is true, but it provides us with enough to survive. We ask for no more. I don't know how you manage. Have the Blessed not considered leaving? Life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, do you know our history? How our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. The Knights Blessed was initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community, which ultimately decided to strike out on its own in the Raktika Greatwood. I see you have heard your history, or you have read your history. But there is a history that is told and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knights Blessed lost everything. Their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the souls of those lost to the flood when their bodies were reborn as sin-eaters. The people were without answers, without hope, their gods having drowned along with everything else. It seemed that nothing was beyond the reach of the light. But soon they realized there were. But soon they realized that where there is light, there must be darkness. And in that truth, they found new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond these burning skies, in the sunless sea above. That is why we pray, for the safe passage of wayward souls unto that blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might someday look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the selfsame reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity, with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. With so many seeking paradise in Yulmore, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You are kind to say so. Many consider our way of life foolish, and so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it is all too easy to lose sight of why we fight to go on living. It is not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before us in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. This we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. To keep their legacy alive. Apropos, I think, for miniphilia. Thank you for watching. This stream was not as good as I was hoping. Not because of the story. The story was excellent. Just didn't get as far as I wanted to. We stopped right before Katana Ravel. But we still did get Emmett Selk. More Emmett Selk. Always great. Y'shtola's back in the crew. And we did a little bit of the Bunny Village. So, but next go around, we will be doing Katana Ravel and eventually I think into Amarang and maybe Calusia. I don't know though. But yeah, it was all great. And, I hope you liked it. And if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and, please come and join me on Twitch. The link is in the description down below. Until then, have a good one.